In contrast to low-frequency oscillators that typically put out repetitive patterns of voltage, in this case patched to the pitch on the Mother 32, there are also random voltage generators, which put out less repetitive patterns. I'm going to take the output and switch it to the smoothly random output on this particular random generator, the Fraptool Sepel. You can change it from a very fast changing voltage to a slow changing voltage. And you can both see and hear that it does not have a discernible pattern to it. In addition to pitch, you can route it to other parameters, such as filter cutoff. And now you have a much more organic sound compared to a more machine-like sound from an LFO. In addition to smooth outputs, most random generators also have what's called a stepped output, something that puts out different levels and holds it. The most common type is called a sample and hold, where it samples an incoming voltage, or even noise, then holds that level until you trigger it again. Again, here it is patched to the filter cutoff on the Mother 32, or I can change it to the pitch to create that typical random note science fiction type sound. In addition to randomly varying voltages, some random generators also put out random triggers or gates, where the spacing is not always regular or periodic. This particular module has an output that is periodic but then adds random triggers to it. So I'm going to take an output from my envelope generator over here and trigger the envelope generator from this random clock. Here's a regular pattern. I'll slow down. But there'll be some random skips in it as the Sepel adds random clocks. Some random generators create completely random clocks. For example, the Quanta output on the SSF Quanta Rainbow just creates random positive and negative spikes at quite a high frequency. I'm going to slow down my oscilloscope display so you can see the overall shape of these many envelopes being triggered very rapidly. Lower the decay and release time on my envelope. It becomes almost sort of a static or Geiger counter sort of sound. That's again in comparison to a very regular clock. So consider random voltage generators as an option to add a more organic, human, or just plain random feel to your music and sounds.